Greetings, and thank you for tuning in to these candidate profiles. Each candidate was afforded the opportunity to answer a series of questions, which were provided to them in advance. I hope you find these profiles to be helpful in deciding the best candidate for Rowlett City Council Place 1. Early voting begins October 23rd, and Election Day is November 7th. More information can be found on the city's website. And now, on to the profile.
Hi, I'm Genesis Castillo, and I am one of your candidates to serve on your city council. I am super excited about this opportunity as my husband and I have chosen Rowlett to be the city where we lay our foundation and plant our roots. My husband is a proud Rowlett graduate from Rowlett High School, and he went to Coyle Middle School. I am from Dallas. I went to the Hockaday School, and I obtained my undergrad degree from the University of Texas at Arlington and my master's degree from SMU. I am a proud educator, and I am also a board member for Mosaic Family Services, and which focuses on helping survivors of domestic abuse and also refugees and people who have experienced different types of hardships, both internationally and within our community.
Are there any specific policy changes you would put forth if elected? If so, please talk specifically but succinctly about those.
I generally agree with the direction that our current city council has taken, but I do believe that if I was part of city council, I could bring in a unique voice and just enhance our current policies.
Please talk about each of these topics of housing and what you believe is important for the future of Rowlett. First, would you be in favor of additional multifamily apartments and townhomes, and why or why not?
So currently, I know that there's already a lot of construction and a lot of projects. So I would hold off on on any additional projects and focus on the current projects that we have. And then as time progresses, we could obviously talk about that. But for the time being, I would say focus on the current projects.
Next, what do you believe is the role of the Rowlett Housing Finance Corporation?
Okay, so I believe that the role of the HFC is to provide, ensure that our Rowlett citizens have affordable and safe housing. I believe that it's especially important because we have people who are on fixed incomes, we have rising costs, and so being able to have an HFC ensures that our citizens are taken care of.
And third, do you believe Rowlett's short-term rental rules are effective? Should they be made stronger or weaker? What is your individual position on short-term rentals?
So I believe that with short-term rentals, it's very important to just ensure that we are addressing the rapid growth that's happening in Rowlett. And so while I believe they're effective, I also believe that we can better the regulations around short-term rentals.
Finally, what specific considerations would you give to a rezoning request?
So with rezoning, and especially with Rowlett changing a lot, I would first, there would be a set of questions, right, that I would have to ask myself and just input from the community. One of those questions would be, does it benefit the community? How will it change the neighborhood? What does it fit with our city's plans in the future? Those are all things that I would take into consideration and just the constituents' input as well.
Do you believe departments are appropriately staffed and employees appropriately compensated? Are there any staff positions that should be added or removed? Please elaborate.
Yes, so I believe that our current city council has done a great job in ensuring that we are providing our staff with appropriate compensation, right? I believe that in order to retain a lot of our staff and also promote people wanting to work in Rowlett, we do have to have competitive salaries. I also believe that with a growing city, we need to ensure that there is enough staff, both with our police departments, with our police department, with our fire department, like hospitals. We need to just make sure that everything, that all of our departments are fully staffed. And so I believe that we've done a great job so far, and I would like to continue that emphasis on ensuring appropriate pay for our staff.
Given the state of flux regarding home values and property tax rates around the area, would you strive to lower the tax rate if elected? And if so, what steps would need to be taken to accomplish this?
I would seek to keep the tax rate at what it is, if possible, lower it. I know that we are experiencing, right, just nationwide, worldwide, right, an increase in cost, So my goal would be to just regulate that increase in tax, because in the last year alone, yes, it's increased for me being a homeowner. So I would want to keep it, or if possible lower it. But we would have to look at our budget and see how that's feasible.
Residents of Rowlett recently approved passage of $76.3 million in facilities bonds in May 2023, with additional CIP projects being discussed for a May 2024 bond election. Are you in favor of a 2024 bond election? And if so, what items that are being considered by the CIP task force do you believe are critical?
Yes. So I would be in favor of a bond in 2024. I think that we would get the return on investment from an additional bond election. Like I stated before, I think that there's a lot of needs in our community, one of them being our shelter and wanting to ensure that all of our animals are housed and have like a safe and comfortable space. I think ensuring that our police department, our fire department, they continue to grow and have all their needs met. I think those are huge things that I am interested in, as well as just our roads and our infrastructure. So,
Beyond police, fire, and public works, what are your top 3 priorities, and in what order? In a scenario where one city department or service must be eliminated, what would you choose and why?
so my 3 top priorities are to ensure that all of our animals are safe and housed, that our infrastructure is one of our main focuses, and then also that we streamline programs for our youth. That's tough. I think that leveraging our community would be great, in one of the in an instance where we had to eliminate one. And so I would listen to the needs and the wants of the community to make that decision.
Transparency in government is very important, but state law allows some topics to be discussed in closed executive session. Please share what the Texas Open Meetings Act, sometimes referred to as TOMA, means to you and how it will impact your ability to be transparent with the public.
I think it would be really important for any elected official to know their, especially in Rowlett, to know the the charter's rules in regards to having that transparency with its citizens, and also making sure that citizens are aware of any meetings, and they're given enough time to make plans to attend and be part of any meeting that is being held.
Local government in Texas is designed to be nonpartisan. If elected, how will you set aside any party line positions you might have to represent all of Rowlett, residents, businesses, and guests, on the local, regional, and state and federal levels?
So I believe that we're in a time where people think, or we're made to think, right, that we're so polarized. But what I found from talking to a lot of my neighbors and a lot of the people in Rowlett is that most people are kind people, and most people want to do good. And I believe that just from some of my conversations, I have realized that there's a lot of common ground, um, even with there being different party lines, right? And so I think that it's a choice, and I think that it's a commitment, and I'm committed to that. I'm committed to being an advocate for everyone, for all of our citizens, and to really use my core values to guide that process and that journey.
City Council is a bigger job than many realize. How many hours per week do you anticipate spending on city business? Are you committed to serving the remainder of this unexpired term? Under what circumstances might you consider resigning?
So as far as resigning, I don't plan on resigning. I In the past, I've always leveraged my family, my community, and my network. When I started teaching, I was in a classroom with chalkboards. The water fountains didn't work. I had very little resources, and my husband, my family and friends came, they all came together, and it wasn't an easy process or an easy journey, but here I am still in education, and I believe that it's a commitment, and I'm up for that commitment.
Talk briefly about Rowlett's form of government, which is a council-manager home rule municipality, and how you will work within those parameters to be effective as a council member.
So I believe that by having a council manager form of government, I'm able to work with we're able to work with our city manager, and we're able to just find ways that are more like systematic and focused and targeted when solving issues. And I also think that as far as you know, when we're talking about home rule, um, if we are able to listen to our constituents and the people that make up our city, we can ensure that we are advocating for people and that we are making the best decisions.
Thank you for your time today in completing this candidate profile. Please share any closing comments you have and let voters know how to reach you with any questions. Feel free to share your website, email, phone number, or any other contact information as well.
Okay. So, once again, I'm Genesis Castillo-Mendez, running for City Council. I would love to represent you, and I'm super excited that you got to meet me today. We'll have a meet and greet at Nico's Paleteria on October 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I can't wait to meet you. We'll have a big photo bus, so we'll be able to take pictures, play some games. And if you want to follow me, you can also follow me at Genesis underscore Genesis underscore for Rowlett 2023 on Instagram, or just for Rowlett on Facebook. And genesisforrowlett.com is my actual campaign page.